Thank you very much, Lana, and to all of Domtar's partners for that fantastic presentation and to share your work to advance reconciliation. On behalf of the 9th Indigenous Resource Opportunities Conference, we have a small speaker gift. I think we're going to take a quick photo, and then we're going to jump right into our next session. So while they take these photos, I'm just going to share a little bit about the next session that we're going to start. At IROC, we receive well over 100 speaker submissions every year. And of course, we can never feature all 100 on stage in a given program. But we felt it was really important this year to highlight the many forms that partnership can take in the resource sector between Indigenous leaders and their communities. So we're thrilled this year to begin what we're calling the first partnership showcase sessions, where we're going to hear a little bit about some successful Indigenous-led partnership models across the resource sector. And I'm going to give these folks just 1 minute here to take a photo, and then we're going to introduce our first partnership showcase. Okay, so to start us off, I am pleased to welcome Kara Wilson, Community Energy Champion from the Quatsino First Nation, and Mary Vasey, Project Manager from the Barkley Project Group, to share information about the Quatsino Solar Project. Let's give them a warm welcome.
Hello. Hi. My name is Kara Wilson. I am the Quatsino Energy Champion. I am the one that does the conversations with the leading of the energy projects within our territories. And this is our partner.
My name is Mary Vasey. I'm with Barkley Project Group. Barkley is a Nanaimo-based project management firm, and we focus on providing expertise supporting Indigenous communities that are pursuing energy and infrastructure-related projects. To provide a bit of context, Kara and I first met in this capacity when she had a multi-year position funded by the Fraser Basin Council EPIC program. I think when we talk about supporting Indigenous communities on the ground in capacity building in a way that matters, this is a really good example of that. That multi-year funding came with technical training, a peer network development, as well as PM mentorship and one-on-one training. And so that's when we were first introduced back in 2023, I believe.
Yes. I was born and raised in Quatsino, and we're located in the northern part of Vancouver Island, approximately 10 minutes away from Port Hardy. Our nation is rich in renewable energy resource opportunities within the territories for wind, tidal, solar, and hydro resources. A quote from our historian, Robert, is, we have used and occupied the full extent of this territory since time immemorial. It was the land of plenty that supported a dense population, complex society, a vibrant economy. Traditionally, we moved throughout our territories in conjunction with the changing seasons. Back in 2018, Quatsino First Nation developed its community energy plan. The development was guided by the extensive community engagement. This process helped us identify and look at economic opportunities within the territories. We continue to dedicate our time to considerable resources to developing and maintaining documentation to guide community development and growth. Notably, prior to this, Quatsino had already invested and participated in its first investment with Cape Scott Wind. One big takeaway from the Community Energy Plan is Quatsino First Nation is driven by the themes of the self-sovereignty, resilience, and sustainable economic development. Currently, closer to home, our energy efficiency opportunities that we have done is we've installed 85 heat pumps in the homes and community buildings on the reserve. This has reduced operation costs and improved overall services, including the addition of air conditioning. The installation process was carried out in phases and prioritized the elder homes during COVID-19 in 2020. And subsequently, we completed installations on all the community homes, rentals, and buildings by 2023.
Just to add to the closer to home components there and how energy efficiency is related to the solar project that we're going to talk about. When you come out of a community energy plan that has both small energy projects and priorities, but also really, really big projects, it's important that you find the opportunities to speak back to the community with your actions and let them know that you've heard the priorities that they've said, and that you're able to find these benefits that aren't just based on finances that are going back to the administration, but also benefits that people can feel at the level of the members and in their own homes. And this was a good example of that opportunity.
Once the heat pumps were completely installed, we then started the project that is our focus today, the Quatsino Community Solar Project. We are currently mid-project with 1 of 3 buildings completed. The buildings were selected based on the resource, roofs, and electrical capacity. Funding was secured by the NRT, BC and the BC Hydro rebates. Schiff was our selected contractor to do the work. 48 kilowatts of solar were installed on the administration building between February 24th to March 5th of this year. No battery was needed as we have a full building diesel generation backup on site. Since then, the system has approximately offset 13.6 megawatts to date, approximately saving our nation $1,900.
Yeah, before we go, maybe if we just look at this graph briefly, what it shows is the energy requirements of the building last year compared to this year. So this year's in the light blue and last year is in the dark blue. And so you can see the impact that the solar has had on the energy consumption requirements of the building. And for the nation, this does equate to operation costs for those buildings as well.
Looking forward and currently underway, we will be starting the commissioning of the daycare solar panel installation in July 2025. We will have 34 kilowatts of solar installed and 115.2 kilowatts battery storage system. Our school will commence in the winter of 2025 with 68 kilowatt of solar panels installed and 168 kilowatts battery storage system.
In terms of the performance of these systems, we expect them to collectively generate 130 megawatt hours per year. What this means from a financial perspective will depend on how the nation interacts with the net billing and optional rating from BC Hydro, but it'll be a reduction of at least 65% in all buildings and between $15,000 and $18,000 in operating costs per year. I think when we go back to the original priorities and themes of that community energy plan, we can also start to see that these battery banks provide that self-sovereignty and resiliency by providing backup power during large-scale emergency events, but also in the intermittent outages that are really common within the community. I also think it's important to acknowledge that all of these buildings are public-facing, and they really set the tone for future work that happens within the community, both for members and leadership and administration, but also for visitors that come to site, and they can see that Quatsino is serious about interacting with sustainable economic development and participating in with that tone. So,
And with this, we would like to show you a video of the Quatsino Administration Building, which was created by Schiff with additional footage provided by our lands manager, James Redford. Oh.
Or just the soundtrack. Oh, it is there. Okay.
All right, thank you very much to Kara and to Mary for that fantastic presentation. Let's give them one more round of applause. And with that, we're going to move on to our next partnership showcase. I'm pleased to welcome Corey Janvier, founder of Cedar Brush Site Services and Janitorial, to share their partnership story. Corey, if you want to come on up here. I think we have a short video from Corey to play, and then he's going to give a brief presentation.
My name is Corey Janvier, the founder and CEO of Cedar Brush Site Services and Janitorial. I'm originally from Chippewa Prairie Dene First Nation, now reside in the beautiful territory of Squamish Nation. Currently, we're working with Squamish Nation on their spring 2024